Hey everybody, welcome to this presentation on how to create your own advertising agency. DIY.Agency is the website, and we will be talking about that a little bit further in detail. But today is all about teaching people how to create their own advertising agency in a smart and efficient manner, where it doesn't cost $1,000 to $50,000 to create the agency, but to be able to do it while working at another job or as a side project or what have you. So let's just jump right into it. My name is Adam Roseland, and my goal here today is to share with you some really clever tricks to getting started quickly. But a little bit about me. So I'm a dedicated family man. I'm married. I have 3 children. I've spent the past 15 years fine-tuning a passive system to run a digital agency. My goal is to work hard, play hard, but not have to spend many hours working 9 to 5 or even worse, working 80-hour weeks while listening to a boss yell at me and can criticize and complain about the work that I was doing. So I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I'm an agency owner, but most importantly, I'd say I'm a lazy guy. So I started my agency from scratch. I now make a little over $500,000 a year and work only a few hours a day. And I got from 0 to 500 in a matter of months. And I'm going to share with you a real simple blueprint on how to do that. So a little bit further, I've never graduated college, so it's not like I've got a diploma from Harvard or, I started at Harvard or Yale or MIT and took this thing on. I went to Arizona State University, never graduated, like a lot of people there. I started in sales and working for multiple companies. I was either quit or got fired from all of them and figured out the secret of how to crush it on my own. At one point, I almost lost my house because bills were due and I couldn't pay for them. And I just will never allow that to happen again. And the focus here is to share with you, how to avoid the same situation. Never, if you don't have a formal education, that's okay. If you're not making $100,000 a year now, that's okay. Really what we want to do is give you a system that's going to allow you to make more money and reach your goals, whatever those goals may be. Maybe it's working 80 hours a week and just absolutely crushing it and blowing my numbers away and making $5 million a year. Maybe you only want to work 1 hour a week on the side just to have some additional income to go travel more. It's up to you. So my promise to you here, guys, is a couple things. So I'm going to show you exactly how to make more money while working for yourself. That I think is really, really important to a lot of people. I'm going to teach you how to work when you want and work from anywhere. All you need is a phone and an internet connection to do what I do. It'll give you the opportunity to fire your boss and stop working for people that are stupid and annoying. Now, not every boss is stupid and annoying, just all the ones that I had were. So I'm sure many of you feel my pain on that, but it allows you to get rid of them. There's nothing greater than just walking out that last day and saying, you know what, I don't want to put up with this anymore. I'm done. I'll see you in another life. It's a really wonderful feeling, kind of like that Jerry Maguire moment. But this is actually something where you're walking out with an actual opportunity. So if you are a salesperson, typically you have to make a lot of phone calls to get new business. This system really avoids having to call 100 people a day only to find out that they don't want to talk to you anyway. This system is very clean and easy and allows you to absolutely not have to do any kind of cold calling. So that's really, my promises. If you stay until the end, I will have a special gift for you. But in the meantime, guys, and when I say guys, I mean guys and gals, I do need your attention, please. So turn off your cell phones, turn off Facebook. If you're a frustrated 9-to-5er and you're serious about getting better results by building your own digital ad agency, the next 45 to 60 minutes will absolutely change your life. And I think you'll enjoy it. I think I sit through a lot of webinars and stuff like that, and a lot of people have a pitch at the end. Well, there's no pitch coming for you. I just want to be very, very clear. So, is this for you? Have you ever wanted to make money online? Well, yeah. Who doesn't, right? That's why you're here. That's what you most likely came for. If you're interested in unlimited earnings potential, yeah, that makes sense. Who wouldn't be, right? If you want to be your own boss, if you want to quit your job, work where you want and when you want, yeah, that's something I would definitely want to be doing. And if you want the financial freedom to work in whatever industry you want. Now, this is the cool part, guys. So if you've ever, when you grew up, nobody, very rarely do people work in an industry that they really wanted to be in when they were, 8 years old, 10 years old, 13 years old. This will give you the financial freedom to work wherever you want. So if you're into music, you can work in music. If you're into, if you're into sports like I am, you can actually get involved and do a lot of things with your free time to spend in sports, or you can try and craft an idea, an agency around sports. The cool thing is this platform that I'm going to teach you works with anything. So yeah, if you're a doctor or a lawyer, well, if you are a doctor or a lawyer, it'll teach you how to get more business. But if you don't want to be that anymore, it'll teach you how to get more business for other people so that you can stop doing that. But really, it gives you the ability to work in whatever industry you choose to be in. So if you said yes to any of these, then this is absolutely for you. And I'm excited that you're going to be able to experience this. So who is this not for? Well, this is not for get-rich-quick people. So I want to be very, very clear that this will require some work. It's not like an overnight, hey, all of a sudden I turned it on and I was making $1 million. This does take some time to develop. It took me a couple months to get things going, honestly. But again, it didn't cost me a lot of money. I was able to do it while working at another company. And that was the cool part. It didn't require a heavy time investment, didn't require a big financial investment, but it did take a little bit of time. This is not for people unwilling to learn. So you absolutely have to be able to listen to this system and learn from it. Again, it's just going to be learning from what we talk about here on this webinar. We're not going to have some master class. I'm not going to be your coach or anything like that. You just have to learn the process that I'm going to put in place for you here. This is also not for negative people. So listen, honestly, the world is surrounded with negative people. You've got a lot of people that will always tell you that you can't do something because they're afraid to do it. One of my favorite quotes is from Arnold Schwarzenegger, who actually says he loves when people tell them that nobody's ever done that before, because then he's going to be the first one to do it. And that's a really impactful thought. If somebody's telling you, oh, you can't start up your own business, chances are good they have never ever tried to start up their own business. They've never even tried, let alone done it and failed. So really, it's about effort, but most importantly, it's about not being negative. This is also not for people who can't handle freedom. This does require some effort. Irresponsible people just can't handle true freedom. So like, if you can't handle only working for 3 hours a day or even 3 hours a week, and you're going to get yourself into trouble, this is probably not for you. So you definitely have to be able to control yourself, be dedicated to the work that you're going to do. And again, if you're only working 3 hours a week, that's great. Work hard during those 3 hours a week. So what does an agency do exactly? Well, according to Wikipedia, a digital agency is a business that delivers marketing services and helps its customers to engage with their targeted market. So what does that mean exactly? Well, it's pretty simple. You're going to provide services for local businesses where you deliver some form of marketing services. We're going to talk about a specific one today, but any marketing service that you really want, and make sure that they get new customers from that service in the targeted market that you're going after. So the real question is, why a digital ad agency? Well, U.S. digital ad spend has been growing pretty immensely over the past 20-some years. And as you can see by this chart, this is back actually in 2014, so you can only imagine based on this, the numbers have gotten even bigger. But more importantly, I mean, it's the next phase. Everybody's trying to get on the web and figure out how to master their local markets. And we're going to help local businesses do that. And you're going to learn how to do that in this training here. So let's talk about why you can make money. Business owners know the importance of digital. So they, like I just said, they understand that retail is dying and that people are going on Facebook or they're going on Google and they're going on YouTube and spending all their time online, and they have to meet the market there. So business owners know the importance. So it's not like you're selling something fresh. It's not like you're selling something dead like the Yellow Pages. You're selling what is very well understood. It's very very used today. It's in the market. It's not like it's a brand new bright shiny object. Everybody knows what Facebook is. Everybody knows what Google is. So you're just providing a way for them to get more business from those types of websites. They also know they will lose customers to competition if they have no presence on Google or Facebook or YouTube. Business owners have no time or desire to do their own marketing. This was kind of an eye-opener. I know there's a lot of people that are out there that do try and run their own advertising. A lot of doctors, lawyers, small businesses try and run their own marketing with their team, but it's very, very ineffective. And I'm going to show you a way that you can absolutely just walk them through and share, kind of what we do for our clients and what you'll be able to do for your clients. And it's an easy sell on why they should be working with you. Now, the important thing is, and everybody will tell you this, anybody in sales will obviously tell you that cost means nothing as long as they can get a positive return on their ad spend. So if you've ever been told, or if you're a salesperson, I'm sure you've told, hey, if it works, I'll keep spending and spending and spending. Well, it's an absolute truth, like if you actually provide something that works to generate them new customers, they're going to continue to spend more and more and more. So the budgets keep going up and up and up as long as you're effective. And that's why it's so easy to scale a business like this, depending on how much you want to work. If you go to a client and you start getting them, a new customer every week, and as long as it's returning a positive ROI, meaning they're not spending more on advertising than they're making from that customer, then yeah, they're going to want to get a second customer, a third customer. And all you have to say is, hey, let's double your ad spend. Let's triple your ad spend to get double the amount of customers or triple the amount of customers. And again, as long as it's making them positive return on investment, they're going to keep spending that money. Something also really cool, and we won't get into outsourcing here, but we can certainly talk about it offline another time, is they don't care whether you do it yourself or not, as long as they're getting results. So, as we talk about some of the services that we're going to talk about in the next moment here, there's a lot of things that a digital ad agency can do, but you don't have to know how to do them all. You can outsource those services, provide a white label, which means basically you're putting your name on the package of having somebody else do the work. And they don't care who does it, whether it's you doing it or somebody else doing it, as long as it's getting results. So I talked about some of those services. So what should you sell? And more importantly, what should you charge? So I'm going to give you some ideas on what's out there as far as the capabilities, but more importantly, I want to show you also kind of what you can charge. And these are not necessarily the highest amounts or the lowest amounts. You can always move these budgets around, but this is kind of what the typical market will spend. So SEO, search engine optimization. Generally, depending on the small to mid-sized business, people spend anywhere between $1,000 and $20,000 per month. Now, again, like I just talked about outsourcing services, you don't have to know how to do SEO as long as you can provide the right service. So if you were to, let's just say you went out and found somebody to charge them $10,000 a month, and then you outsourced the work for $7,500 a month. Let's just say you called me and I was doing the SEO work. Well, guess what? You're making $2,500 a month in profit now, and you're still delivering a quality service and quality result for your client. So it's about how much you sell up front, and then how much you can get it for on the back end. And listen, that's the world of retail. If you go into Walmart today, guess what? They're not paying what they're charging, and they're not making a lot of what they're selling. They're finding a product, providing it to consumers, marking it up in a profitable percentage, and they're selling it. And I don't care who made it, as long as I can get it, and it reaches my needs and services, whatever my pain point is. So that's the cool thing is with SEO, if you're able to sell it for $1,000 and you get it done for $750 every month. Well, that's $250 extra a month that you're putting in your pocket, and that's just one client. Now imagine if you scale it up to 50 clients. And again, then you start adding other services. Now you're starting to understand how quickly this can scale, and it's recurring business on a monthly basis. Social media. So, we talked about Facebook, there's Twitter, there's, Instagram, there's, Snapchat, there's all these different things. Just doing updates typically, for a local business, you can charge anywhere from $500 to $2,500 per month. Again, this is just the putting in what their daily posting is, the updates. Then there's the paid advertising side of Google, Facebook, and YouTube. These are the actual ads that run. And, generally I put 15% of spend. People charge anywhere from 5% of spend, or they do a flat monthly rate where, hey, look, we're going to just flat charge you $2,500 a month, no matter what you're spending on Facebook and Google. That's our retainer rate. And, again, all it takes is a couple clients. If you get somebody spending $30,000, again, at 15%, well, you do the math, right? All of a sudden, you're making a lot of money just to administer their Facebook or their Google ads. And again, if you don't know how to do it, I assure you, the higher percentage you can get in the charge up front, the 15%, well, if you can find somebody to actually provide that service for 7.5% or 5% or 10%, as long as you're making a profit on your end, well, scale. The sky's the limit. Now, there's also some individual items where it's website design services. So if you build somebody a new website, now listen, there are people that charge $500 to do a website. There's people that charge $100,000. Biggest website I ever sold was $130,000. And again, the cost of it versus the implementation costs are very, very different. So if you can sell a $130,000 website and it only costs you $50,000 to make, well, that's a lot of profit, right? And just think about that. Every local business needs a website to drive this traffic to, whether it's SEO, whether it's paid advertising, whether it's social media. They need to get people to their website. Even the brick and mortars, need to advertise their website to get people, from going online to offline. So everybody needs a website, and there's a lot of crappy ones out there. So website design services is a great way to make some extra money. But it is a one-time only thing, whereas SEO, social media, and paid advertising are going to be your monthly recurring. So then there's content and marketing. So I guess what I mean by that is to write content for a blog post and then marketing that blog post, for example. So I'm sure you've heard about blogging, but maybe you haven't. It's good for SEO purposes or search engine optimization purposes. But more importantly, it's good to provide relevant and updated content to customers. So if you're a dentist, or if you're a car dealer, or if you're a plumber, you want to provide information about what's going on in your world. If there's any kind of new hot car out there, you want to put it up on your website and talk about the benefits of utilizing your services. Show people how to do an oil change, for free, but as part of your informational marketing. And those go for anywhere from $50 to $250 per post. Can go cheaper and can go more expensive depending on how much information is gonna be involved, how the word count, how many words, and the like. And then, of course, there's website maintenance. So we talked about website design services. That's when you build a new website. People charge anywhere from $50, or $75 to $150 per hour. And that's, again, it's just doing kind of programming on the back end. It's design stuff on the front end. Sometimes you don't need a whole new site, but you want to change the color of something, or you want to change some information on a certain page, and charge an hourly rate of $75 to $150 per hour. So that's pretty cool stuff, right? So who wants to take things to the next level, right? It only takes 5 clients at $2,000 per month to have a 6-figure ad agency. Again, so we talked about some of those bigger numbers like SEO, where you could get up to 20 grand a month, or social media, $2,500 a month. Paid advertising, doing 15% of their ad spend, or a flat retainer fee of $1,000 to $2,000 or $3,000 a month. Think about that. So if you've got 5 clients doing $2,000 per month in SEO, then you've got a 6-figure ad agency. Now, that's not all profit, but if you can get, let's just say, 5 clients spending $4,000 a month on SEO, and you're outsourcing it for $2,000 a month, well, guess what? Now you're making 6 figures, right? So now you're making 10 grand a month from SEO work that you're not even doing, and you're making six-figure income. Now, how cool is that, right? So I want to offer my guidance, my support, and my experience to help you succeed even faster. And that's really why, guys, that we're here. So Now look, if you want to learn business by getting an MBA, you'd spend at least $100,000, $200,000 and lose 2 years of your life. Or if you want to franchise an offline business like a McDonald's or a Subway, you're looking at a minimum of $500,000 investment costs, right? The DIY.Agency, and this is the cool part, guys, the blueprint I'm about to share you does not require a $500,000 investment, a $200,000 investment, a $100,000 investment, right? In fact, it's not even going to cost you $10,000, $5,000, or even $2,000. Wait for it, guys. Just wait for it. It's coming. So I'm going to introduce today the DIY.Agency blueprint, guys. I use the same proven process with you that I have personally used to build 6- and 7-figure businesses and help people quit their 9-to-5 jobs for one easy payment of nothing. I'm not here to sell you guys. I'm here to tell you how to make money, right? I'm tired of these experts out there that are just trying to make money off other people. I'm here to actually share with you how I make money, and there's no charge, all right? I'd love for you to share this training with other people because it's all about sharing information at this level, in my opinion. So let's get into the training, right? If you're ready, let's do this. So today I want to specifically speak, and I know we've talked for about 20 minutes already, about how to make money with Facebook ads and how to do Facebook advertising for local businesses. Now, everything I teach you guys, you can do for yourself and your agency just as much as you're doing for a client. So every step of the way, when we walk through this stuff, I want you to think about it 2 ways. One, how can I get more clients for myself using this method? And how can I get more clients for my clients using this method? So let's get into the first thing that we're going to talk about is how to set up targeting the right way. And then the next, we're going to talk about how to write ads to get the right customers. 2 rights there. You like that? For your clients. And then using a sales funnel, both online and offline, and how important that actually is. So let's talk about the first thing, which is targeting the right way. Okay? So first and foremost, I want to be very clear. You gotta start small. There's so many companies out there that are trying to blast the entire US market with their services, whether it's SEO or whether it's their Google ads or Facebook ads. That, let's be honest, guys, you're not targeting people from Mars, all right? You're targeting people locally. So stop competing against the rest of the world, all right? Pick the zip codes from the targeting section of Facebook and only go after those people. All right, and I'm going to show you how I mean that in a second, but let's just go after the zip codes that you service. So if you start an ad agency, and I'm in Philadelphia, don't start by going after the entire United States. Start with going after local businesses in your market. So for instance, I would target zip codes in the Philadelphia region and start small. That way I'm not competing with every other agency in the country. Hope that makes sense. And this way the cost is much lower, right? That's what it's all about, is doing this efficiently. So if I'm competing with the entire United States with my Facebook ads or my Google AdWords or my SEO, or I'm competing with just Philadelphia, which do you think is going to cost me more to try and dominate, right? It's a no-brainer. So we want to make sure that we target locally. And we also want to take that to the next step where we target by a demographic profile. So we don't just get everyone in the neighborhood. We want to make sure that everybody in Philadelphia that I'm targeting can actually afford my services or afford my client's services. So I dominate locally by targeting by age and income. And yes, you absolutely can target by both age and income. So we want to make sure that we see, the pricing here. You can go from $100,000 to over $500,000. You can go after people that make less money than that. You can target people that just started a new job or that just moved. You can target people by their job title, whether an accountant or an attorney, or if they had a new life event where they bought a new house, they just had a baby. There's a lot of cool ways to target depending on who your ideal client is. But with Facebook specifically, we can target by those zip codes that they're in, by the city, by the, we can go after the whole state, we can go by a county, but more importantly, we can target by a demographic profile that talks about, age, income, how much wealth they have, liquid assets, what they like, if they like certain things. So if they're a fan of, Tony Robbins, if they're a fan of, Shark Tank, if they're a fan of, as silly, stupid shows like The Office that, I loved, you can target them by anything like that. We can also target by job titles. If you're specifically looking for something that's high income, so you can go after the attorneys, you can go after doctors, you can go after people that have a certain education title, meaning they got a doctorate degree or a master's degree. You can only go after people that are business owners, CEOs, CFOs. Something like that. So that if they're a CEO, chances are good, unless it's somebody that just literally started their own business, that they're probably making some good money. So it's a cool way to also target by income. And then, of course, with that, we don't want to forget to exclude people. And what do I mean by that? Well, eliminate people that are not in your target demographic. So, if I'm only looking for people that make $100,000 or more, let's make sure that we exclude people that make less than $100,000. And be sure to browse all kinds of other potential, exclusions, whether it's interest-based, behavior-based, demographic-based. The more you know about your audience, the better you can find the right target. So, for instance, for Philadelphia, it's a pretty big city. There's a lot of different towns in that area. I can exclude certain zip codes where if I have a product or a service that I want to sell to wealthy people, then I exclude the low income areas. Or if I want to sell it to low income areas, I exclude the wealthy people. It's really that simple. If I don't want anybody that's very well educated, I eliminate people with master's degrees. If I only want to target people that have a GED or only have a high school diploma, well, I can target based on that as well, and I exclude the others, and that's the cool thing to do. So bottom line, what we want to do is we want to absolutely zero in on our market. All right, so we want to also target our competitors, not just their interests. So I talked about interests, but if you're competing with other companies, don't be afraid to target them, because people that like them oftentimes are willing to switch over to another company. So if you're a car dealer or your client's a car dealer, if somebody likes Kias, it doesn't mean that they're not willing to buy a Ford, or just, the same, if they like Ford doesn't mean they're not willing to buy a Toyota. Now, if somebody likes cars, then I want to make sure that I'm in front of them if I'm trying to sell cars. So let's make sure we target our competitors as well. And use Google Analytics to find the exact demographics of your market. So, Google Analytics is a whole nother world of information. I'm not going to talk about that on this video here, but it's an opportunity to really understand your demographic profile of people that visit your website or your client's website. And you can really start to see who's going to that website and from where. And it helps you to eliminate guesswork. If you know that everybody's coming from a certain zip code, then you want to spend the money there. Really what we focus on is spending money only on advertising will get results. And that is key here, guys, because this will give you the biggest return on investment. All right, so let's make sure that we have our targeting down. All right, so now that we talked about that, let's talk about creating the right ads. We've got the right demographic targeting. Now, how do you write an ad for them to get them to your website? So this is where it really actually gets pretty fun to me. And I don't know if you guys know about the foot in the door concept. We're going to go over that real quick. But I like to create a foot in the door ad. So the foot in the door phenomenon states, quite simply, that once someone has agreed to a small request, that person is more likely to agree to a larger request. Okay? So what does that mean exactly? That means if you say yes once, well, then you're more likely to say yes to something bigger and maybe more expensive or what have you. So in 1966, researchers Jonathan Friedman and Scott Fraser did a pretty cool but also crazy experiment. They went door to door asking people to put large signs up in their yard that read, "Drive carefully." And if you've been in a school zone or anything like that, you know that a lot of people say drive like your kids live here and all that stuff. Well, basically this was something they did back in 1966, very similar to that. So in the first round, only 20% of homeowners said yes, put the sign up. In the second round, however, a whopping 76% of homeowners said yes. Well, that's a pretty big difference, right? From going from 20 to 76%. And it really was one small change. And again, that's the cool part about this, guys, is it doesn't take 50,000 things. It was one small change. So what did they do different in that second round, right? That's the thing. Well, in the second round, they first made a small request by asking if they could put up a tiny 3-inch sign. Ridiculous, right? Since a 3-inch sign isn't such a big deal, most homeowners said, sure, why not, right? Well, once the homeowners already agreed to the small sign, they then asked them if they could put up a big sign instead. And most said yes. Remember, 20 to 76%. They then said yes. In the first round, they asked to put up the big sign first, and the answer was mostly no, right? So that's a pretty powerful thing, right? So let's get back to the ads that we're going to create. And again, for this example here, we're going to target dentists. So all the slides are going to be focused on targeting dentists. But think about it for your ad agency, how you can promote the same principles to get people to your website and get them to do business with you. Or if you don't want to do business with dentists, if you want to do business with lawyers, or if you want to do business with car dealers or chiropractors, think about this in terms of what their world is. And let's talk about those ads. So really the most important thing that we want to do with an advertisement is we want to talk about pain points, right? So we want to stir the prospect's pain. For a dentist, we need patients in the chair. So first let's speak to what is bothering them, right? So think about the solution your clients provide and find a way to provide it to them fast, easy, and cheap, right? So it doesn't really matter what the offer is, just as long as the potential clients would be silly not to take it, right? So there's a couple key points that I want to go over here. So, I want you to remember something. As we're creating a Facebook ad, there's going to be imagery, but there's also going to be ad text that we have to focus on, right? So with our ad text, what we need to focus on is we have to stop them in their tracks by bringing up something that is causing them pain, twisting that knife, and then offering them some sort of relief. So the relief for a dentist is a free cleaning or a discounted whitening or whatever. But remember, these people are cooking dinner. They're reading maybe not reading a book. They're reading, maybe they were. Maybe they're on their Kindle and they're reading a book and went on Facebook. Or maybe they just put it down because they heard a ping on their phone. They're watching TV. They're not necessarily paying full attention to their Facebook feed when they're going through and they see your ad. So you need to grab them and grab their attention by stirring that pain. And this is where you get an image, for example, of somebody holding their jaw and they're in pain, or if you're a chiropractor, somebody holding their back, or if you're selling cars, or your client is a car dealer, somebody show a picture of a broken down car or a nasty accident where somebody's going to need a new car, right? It doesn't necessarily relate, but you want to grab their attention as quickly as possible and start to really focus on stirring that pain point that we want. So again, for our purposes here, let's start with a free cleaning, okay? So what we want to do is we want to make sure it is a free offer or a ridiculous discount. Now, don't worry, I'm not here to give away your client's business. I'm not here to give your client business, your business away. Listen, I'm an ad agency. I'm giving this away for free, right? All I'm trying to do is share information. So next time I provide some kind of opportunity where I might sell, well, hey, look, you said yes, Adam, that free opportunity was awesome. Well, now if I'm selling you something for $39, you're much more likely to say yes to it. Now, I have nothing in the funnel to come at you with $39, I promise. I'm not looking to sell you at the end of this or anything like that. But if somebody gives you some value, especially for free, you're more than likely to say yes and buy something the next time, right? So we want to give them some free offer, or some ridiculous discount. So like I said, use images in the ad of your target client, whether it be gender or age or ethnicity or income level. Again, if you're targeting, a low income, white male, then we want to make sure we try and look for pictures of a low income white male, or what have you. If you're looking for a student, then we want to show somebody carrying books, or if or you get the point. So remember, the foot in the door concept here is an early yes will get them saying yes to our later offers. And really, again, what I want to focus on is, that free offer. How does that then make people money? Well, for a dentist, we enter the value ladder here, okay? So when we give them a simple free teeth cleaning, this is the funnel that we want to take them through, all right? We want to start with that free low-cost teeth cleaning. And then every 6 months, we try and sell them on another cleaning. Or we provide a whitening. While we have them in the chair, you say, hey, you know what? You got some crooked teeth. You need a retainer. Or, hey, look, I found a cavity. Do you want to come in and set an appointment to get that filled? You get the point, right? So what we want to do is we want to drive them up that value ladder. And with every single thing we do, it all started with a free or low-cost teeth cleaning, but now we're getting opportunities to sell them. And once they've said yes, it's a lot easier to get them. Now, I want to go over some numbers real quick, guys, because I think the math is very, very important about transitioning from free to sold. And it also helps with you, how do I make money if I'm giving away everything for free? Well, we have to understand what the lifetime value of a patient, or for you, what a lifetime value of any client is going to be. All right. So lifetime value is the total worth of a patient or a client to their business over the entirety of the relationship. So if I get somebody a new dental patient, the lifetime value is the total worth of a new patient to that business over the entirety of the relationship. So if they're there for a year, if they're there for 30 years, what's the average value? What's the average income that dentist is going to make from a customer? And it's real simple. You say, hey, look, tell me how many clients you've had over the past 5 years, how much have you made, and divide that number by, those numbers by each other, right? If you made, $1,000 and you only had 10 clients, well, guess what? You made $100 per client. It's that simple, right? So obviously those numbers will be a lot bigger for the local business, but we want to just make sure that we understand how to reach that number. So now this is also going to include referrals, family members. So people will only look at those numbers originally, but you have to explain, listen, if I bring you a new client and they're there for 5 years and they're 10 years and they're happy, guess what? They're going to refer you to other friends. They're bringing in their own family members, etc. So with a dental client, if I can get a mom in there and she brings the, all 6 of her kids, then guess what? This customer just got 6 new kids, right? And then, if that mom's, a big blogger or a big Facebook, or, she's just a local PTO mom, she might tell 6 other people that are new to the area, hey, I'm looking for a dentist. Know anybody? Of course I do. Use the person I'm using. And then all those families go. So again, that all gets worked into the lifetime value, but I like to just say, hey, listen, let's work with absolute numbers. But remember, every person I bring to you has the opportunity for referrals, family members, etc., to grow that number. So we need to own this number because it will vary for each dentist or each client, but it's critical that you understand your numbers. All right. So if you know that the average value of a new client, of lifetime value of a new client is $10,000, well, that gives you some work to do. All right. So speaking of that, experts estimate the long-term lifetime value of a dental patient to be between $10,000 and $45,000, depending on what types of services they offer. So to me, that's a huge difference. So I'm going to work with $10,000. And in the examples that we're going to use going forward, I'm only going to use a quarter of that just because I like to show off and make the numbers work. So just remember that it's potential $10,000 to $45,000, but I'm going to just say $10,000 is the number on the bottom, and we're going to only take a quarter of that. Hope that makes sense. There we go. Sorry, guys. Again, my slides are moving a little slow. So LTV is, again, that lifetime value versus acquisition cost. And this is why it's important to know your numbers. So assume your lifetime value is only $2,500. Remember, it was a quarter of that $10,000. So the average lifetime value of a new patient or new client is $2,500. Right? The rule of thumb I like to use for this cost is a 3-to-1 ratio of LTV, lifetime value, versus CAC, which is client acquisition cost. Now, this is about as deep as the math is going to get, guys. It's not like I'm going to take you down a rabbit hole here. This is what it's all about, right? So with a 3-to-1 ratio, based on a $2,500 lifetime value, we can spend up to $833 for each new long-term customer in ad costs and expenses. Now, this does include the cost of giving away the cleaning, the whitening, or whatever. So you want to find out from your client, hey, what does it cost to do a free cleaning? Well, it costs $100, all right? So if every single one of those is $100, well, now my number is $733 for each new long-term customer that we bring in ad costs and expenses, if that makes sense. Right? But the bottom line is I need to get a return on investment. So for every 3 bad customers that I bring in, or every 3 new customers that I bring in, I can spend up to $833 to get up to that $2,500 because I know the average is going to spend $2,500. All right? I hope that makes sense. So we'll get back to the math later. I don't want to confuse you on something that's not that important. So in the meantime, let's talk about using a sales funnel online and offline. Okay? So I don't want to be, again, complicated here, guys. So I'm going to make it very simple. What I like to use is a very simple landing page, right? Get a free teeth cleaning. We only have 20 vouchers available, right? Hey, Pachog peeps, we are doing a special, 20 free cleanings to promote our office. Claim a voucher now. They click the button, right? And And I like to have a countdown timer on this offer because that means that it's not, they just came from Facebook or Google or what have you. And it shows that this offer is not going to be around forever. And we're only giving away 20 of them, right? This is the landing page, right? So either somebody clicks the button or they don't. They either say yes or they don't, right? So if they click the button, what I want to do is get some information, right? So it gets their info for follow-ups. So where should we send your voucher? Well, it's Adam Roseland. Here's my email. Here's my cell phone number. Give me the voucher, right? And then all of a sudden we have them getting a free voucher, right? So the cool part is I've already gotten a customer with 2 clicks, right? Nothing super complicated, very easy. Nobody had to do anything, but I do want them to call, because it's a lot easier to book that appointment if they actually pick up the phone and dial. And chances are good that people will show up much more often if they actually pick up the phone and dial. So we already offered them a free cleaning, right? But with an upsell, we offer something else if they call right now, right? So we've given them the free cleaning, they've got their voucher, but what I want to do is on the thank you page, I want to tell people, hey, look, if you set up an appointment right now, you're going to get 50% off of a whitening on top of the free cleaning, right? Now, do you think that would encourage somebody to call? Now, this is an example of it. Hey, thank you. Your vouchers, is in your inbox, but wait, call and schedule your cleaning now and get 50% off whitening. Call this number to book now and get 50% off whitening, right? So if they pick it up, well, then guess what? I got them on the landing page. I captured their information in case, they didn't call, but I want them to call. So this person's going to go from Facebook to my landing page to picking up the phone and dialing. And guess what? Now I know I'm getting at least 50% on whitening. So if, let's just say somebody charges $250, the dentist is already making $125 that they didn't have. Now, it might be a break-even cost, they might have a little profit, but more importantly, they've got a new customer coming in for a cleaning and they're already spending money, all right? But they've called, so it's not like you've had to do anything. The dentist hasn't had to do anything other than simply answer the phone. So again, this is a simple process. Keep it simple. Don't make it very complicated. I don't want you guys to worry about, 35-page funnels or anything or email, Listen, get them to a landing page, right? A very simple landing page. The prospect then enters their information. You have a landing page, a thank you page with an upsell. And it is an upsell, whether it's a break even or if you're making a little bit of profit. You just want to give them a super deal if they pick up the phone and dial right now. And then the cool part is follow up with your leads, the ones that don't actually call you. So remember, every single person that's getting that free cleaning or that one email that comes to you after they submit their information, whatever your business is, they're interested. They showed interest already. So if they don't happen to pick up the phone and dial, well, guess what? Pick up the phone and call them, because you now have their name, their email address, and phone number. You can put them in an email autoresponder. You can do whatever you want to do. I think it's best to actually pick up the phone and call them. All right, so I use a very specific company for these because the templates convert great and it only takes 5 minutes to create. I will be giving you that free. Again, free. It's a free template at the end, so just stay tuned. All right. Again, nothing on this costs you any money, guys. I want to be very clear. I'm not going to charge you. You're not going to be on it getting an email from me saying, hey, by the way, here's my new next product offer or anything like that. Everything is free and it works. I want you to make money. All right. So let's talk about creating a lifetime customer. So after appointment 1, right, that dentist is like, oh man, Adam, you're killing me. You keep bringing me all these customers, but nobody's actually spent any money yet because I took a loss on the free cleaning. Well, guess what? You bring them in for a second appointment, and you say, hey, guess what? Here's 50% off whitening. Or if you did that all in the same appointment, great. Offer them a discount on something else. Offer them 10% off on a retainer. Or hey, guess what? I'm not going to make you pay whatever your copay is on your second appointment. I'm only going to charge the insurance company. Or hey, you know what? We're going to just give you a discount on your copay. Something to give them that second appointment, to book them in for that second appointment. Do you think your client can then at that point convince them to come back for a third appointment? You betcha. Their smiles never look better. You've given them great service. You've given them a free cleaning, 50% off whitening, right? All they've learned is that you provide great service and that your dentist provides great service, and they've saved a lot of money, right? So don't forget to have your client at this point ask for a review, right? Because how could it possibly go wrong? How could somebody go on Facebook or Google or Yelp or anything and say, hey, this, Dr. Jones stinks because all they did was give me a free cleaning and 50% off whitening. They're the worst, right? You're going to get so many glowing reviews for that client just by simply saying, hey, after this point, ask for reviews. And guess what? When that person gets a review, you've got social proof, and now you've got more customers coming to them just because you've given away something free that other people won't take advantage of, but they're still going to come to that dentist anyway, right? So this is where the dentist really starts to profit again if they haven't already by using the upsells. So all it takes, is typically that second or third appointment for them to already start making money on that new patient. And again, if they're doing a good job servicing that patient, every 6 months, they've got a client coming in over and over and over again. And guess what? If you've got a one-time only sale, like if somebody's selling mattresses or something like that, guess what? There's other ways to sell them. You can sell them pillows. You can sell them sheets. You can find ways to make the money. Hey, maybe if you come in and buy a mattress today, you'll get the sheets and the pillows for free. Guess what? You just got a new customer that all they had to do was, eat the cost on some sheets. Well, there's a lot of markup in mattresses. I've worked with mattress companies, right? So there's ways for every industry to make money, even if they give us a significant discount or give away something for free to get customers in. And again, it might be a one-time only purchase, but what I found is even in the one-time only type of mattress companies, guess what? After 5-6 years, who am I going to go to? I'm going to go to the same person that I bought from last time. And hey, if I'm sleeping great, I'm going to tell people my mattress is awesome and this is where I bought it. So remember that value ladder, guys. We want to make sure that every step of the way we're offering some kind of other service, right? So now I want to show you. I don't want to show you like, oh, guys, this is all you got to do. I want to show you actual numbers. I want to share a case study. I want to give you proof how this system works, okay? So I'm going to take a case study, and the reason I use the dentist is because I have a case study here for a dentist where we're going to share exactly how they made money using Facebook ads, okay? So this was a client that had a $2,000 budget for Facebook, all right? They spent $2,003.35 because I wanted to be very specific about this Facebook ads, all right? They spent it in their local market. The people who saw the Facebook ad locally was 46,169 people. So if nothing else, that's like paying for a billboard on the side of the road in their local market. $2,000 and 46,000 people saw it during the course of the month, right? That's pretty awesome, good return just because you're getting branding in your local market. But we're in it for direct response. We're not in it for branding here, guys. So the number of landing page visits, that means we got 1,408 people that actually clicked from Facebook to go to that landing page, all right? So significantly more people saw the ad and didn't click, obviously, but we're only paying for clicks. So we got 1,400 clicks for $2,000. All right, now that's a pretty good amount of people. Now you might end up getting less. You might only get 700 people, but we'll go over those numbers again in a minute, all right? I'm gonna give you numbers now of what this actually did, and then we'll share numbers to talk about how you can still profit regardless, even if you don't even get close to this, right? So they got 152 new patient leads. So about 1 in 10 people that actually visited the website actually clicked on the voucher and got leads. Now, yes, we said only 20 were available, but let's be honest. We know that not everybody that clicks on that button and gets that free voucher is going to use it. And by the way, we want to make sure that if we can handle 152 patients, we want to get every single one of them. They've got a lot of time to see patients during the course of the week. You ask a dentist, and if their chair's not full, they want somebody in it. So 152 new leads is awesome, but let's talk about bookings because these are the people that actually pick up the phone and dialed. Right? 46 people actually picked up the phone and dialed, okay? So that's a lot of people. With 46 new patients, how many can your client convince to stay with them after a free cleaning, right? So they gave away 46 free cleanings, all right? That's a lot of free cleanings, but they also still have about 106 people that they could still follow up with, new patient opportunities that never actually picked up the phone to book. Right? And this is all from $2,000 in ad spend. So let's just say, for number's sake, here, it was 46 patients here. And again, I try and be aggressive with my numbers, guys. I want to make sure that you can do this, and this is going to be quick math, but I want to make sure that, if you aren't good at Facebook ads, or if your dentist isn't great, let's just say from that 2,000, they only got 40 new patients, right? And they can only convince 1/4 of those people. So 10 of those people who come in for the free cleaning, let's just say 10 of the 40 that come in for a free cleaning stay with them after the fact, right? At $2,500 lifetime value, that's $25,000 that they're going to make off this ad, right? This $2,000 that they spent, and whatever you charge for your services. If you charge, 10%, yeah, well, you know what? You only made $200. But if you charge them a flat, $1,000 and said, hey, look, I'm going to put $2,000 towards your spend. I'm going to take $1,000 and pay for my service. Guess what? Do you think this dentist would do that again and again and again if they know they're going to make $25,000 off of $3,000? You spent $2,000 on the ads and $1,000 for your ad cost. Do you think they'd spend $5,000 at that point, right? Remember, every step of the way, we have been conservative with our numbers. Now, if the lifetime value is actually $10,000, forget about it. If it was in the 40s, can you imagine if they only got 1/4 of those people to stay with them? Now, let's just say, again, you're targeting moms, right, for this dentist, and you're targeting, family dentists, and the average client turns into be, somebody that lasts with them for 15 years, right? Because it's a kid that starts at, 2 years old and goes until they're 17. Or you've got a family, and you got a family of 3 children that go for 10 years, right? That's 3 kids coming at least twice a year for 10 years, right? Do you think that they're making a lot of money off that? And that's not even talking about, that's just for cleanings. If they came for cleanings and they had cavities, and then they need a retainer, and trust me, a lot of dentists are doing these Invisalign retainers nowadays. These invisible plates that they put in your mouth, or trays they call them, where they're making a lot of money. This isn't talking about cosmetic dentistry where we're doing implants or anything like that. We're just talking no cavities being made. We're just talking cleanings. Do you think it would be worth it to get them 10 new patients, 10 new families every month? Would they be happy? You got to be kidding me, right? So, can your client be profitable with this? Of course they can. So again, this is a great case study. This is one sample from dentistry, but a recent text from a client of mine, bam, new patient just called from Facebook, no insurance, hasn't been to a dentist in 20 years, coming in tomorrow. He has a toothache, but also said he needs a lot of work, right? Do you think that this dentist is going to be able to upsell them on services, right? It's not about just cleaning, right? You think if there's at least a cavity, if there's a toothache. If they haven't been to a dentist in 20 years, do you think she'll be able to upsell them, right? So this is one of my clients. Don't go after her, please, because she's a great client. She's one of my favorite. Debbie, if you're out there, I hope you're not, but if you're out there, I appreciate all the business that you've given me, and I want you to understand I'm doing the Facebook ads. You know what I charge you, and I know it's worth it to you. So I want to be clear, guys. Anybody can do this. I'm nothing special, right? I'm some little kid that grew up in Philadelphia. I went to Arizona State University. I'm not some brilliant dude. What I want you to do is I talked about giving you that free funnel, right? That landing page, that thank you page, the pop-up, the actual, the email that it comes to the client, or I'm sorry, to the potential patient. It's all part of this funnel. You can go get the funnel now, DIY.Agency/special offer. So let's talk about the next steps, all right? I know we've been here for almost 60 minutes, so I appreciate your time. We're almost done, less than 5 minutes, I promise, guys. I want to talk about the next steps for you, okay? So you have to come up with a basic offer to attract new clients. First of all, you have to get new clients for yourself, but more importantly, when you have a new client, all you have to do is come up with a basic offer, right? For a dentist, it's free cleanings, right? For a chiropractor, it might be, the first adjustment's free. If it's a car dealer, it might be free oil change with, with any service, or, free tire rotation with any oil changes. Or, hey, look, if you buy from us, a $500 gift card to Amazon or something like that. Something that's a ridiculous offer that's going to want new clients to come in, right? Create that ad, then promoting that offer, whether it's video or images, targeting your ideal client, right? Get the right ad in front of the right client. We talked about that, right? Make sure you're targeting that the right client. Create a landing page promoting your offer, right? You can go get the exact template I just used, you can use, and you can edit very easily with this company. It's simple. You don't have to have any kind of computer skills. You create a landing page promoting your offer, just update it, and you say, hey, listen, it's not a Pachogue resident, it's San Francisco residents, because your client, your dentist is there. Use my stuff, guys. It's there. That's what I want you to do. Offer a bonus if they call you and book today. If they come in today, what can you offer them? What kind of incentive can you also give them if they take action today? And then be sure to follow up with any leads that don't call you, right? So this is really where people make twice as much money and they start to really scale. It's great when somebody calls a dentist, if your client just takes calls all day, but if they have somebody in-house where they're, hey, look, I know we got 50 calls this month, but I also got 150, emails saying, hey, they're interested in taking us up on that free cleaning. Make sure your client reaches out to them, because that's a lot of people that are interested that maybe just didn't have the opportunity to call then, right? So you've got to have them follow up. So what are the next steps for you to get this going? Again, I'm not looking to charge you or anything like that, guys. I want you to visit DIY.Agency/special offer now. Take advantage of that free funnel. Get the funnel I use and start using it immediately. Share this with others and make money, make more money, and enjoy your freedom. That's it. There's no sale at the end. There's no only pay this today. That was it. I thank you very much for all your time today. And if you do have questions, you saw my email earlier, but I'll make sure there's links on that DIY.Agency/special offer to find more tips and tricks for small local agency businesses like yourself. And I'll be sharing a lot more information on the Facebook group that you'll have access to if you go to that page as well. There will not be an upsell on that page, I promise you. Thanks again, guys. Have a great day and make it profitable.